Hey guys, this is Michael Chin with episode 13 of the live scalping series. It is Monday, March 9th, 2020, and we are looking at a 2000 tick chart of the S&P 500 futures. Now, the overnight session did bring us down into limit down. That means the market was down 5% in the overnight session, so the CME had to close down the futures instruments. And now we're down almost 7 to 8% on this market open. Yeah, this is pretty unfortunate. As traders, volatility is fun, especially if you are positioned to the downside here. Sure, you make a ton of money, but at the end of the day, you still have to think about, this is still real life, right? There are people out there that are hurting. This is going to cause a lot of damage to the global economy. And yeah, it's something that you still have to realize. There's still a reality to trading, right? All of these big drops are going to be hurting someone out there. So just keep that in the back of your mind when you're trading. But yeah, it looks like markets have halted yet again right at the start of the morning. So I believe they're going to be halted for around 15 minutes. So we can skip ahead to that. But just remember, trading can be fun. Trading can be very lucrative. But also remember, big down moves like this, they're depressing. They're sad to look at. Okay, so the chart is pretty zoomed out here because the candlesticks are massive and I need to be able to see everything. And what we see here is we have some sort of two-legged trap starting to form. So we have the first leg down here, and now there is a second leg about to form. And so what I'm going to want to do is I'm going to want to put my buy stop order right above this bar up here. It's so hard to see. I'm sorry. This was just a crazy day, and this was the best way I had to record it. And what you might notice is I did put in my order for 2 contracts, right? I'm scaling down, and usually I trade 4 contracts, but for this big volatility, I'm moving it down to 2. And actually my 2 got canceled. And I'll talk a little bit about that more after this setup, but I was pretty mad that I wasn't able to get those 2 contracts. So I scaled it down to 1 contract and then instantly got filled for that 1 point scalp. I would have loved to have had it go further. I really wanted to get a runner on this one because, when you have a two-legged trap like this, especially with this huge sell-off, you're probably going to see a lot of short covering. So to talk about that real quick, I emailed NinjaTrader support about what happened because I obviously should have had the margin to buy 2 contracts. And apparently what happened was they did increase the margin by, I think it was 2 times and then almost 5 times at one point during the day. But still, the margin requirement for 1 contract is $500. So that would bring it up to only $1,000 per contract. And I would have enough money to cover $2,000. But apparently what happened is because of this huge down move, the actual, I think it's called the continuum, something, the data feed, the CQC data feed actually changed the margin requirement from the normal NinjaTrader default, which is 500 or 1,000 in this case, and actually brought it up into the normal exchange values. So it was asking me for like $20,000 of intraday margin requirement to buy 2 contracts. And it's got a little unfortunate because my account is like just shy of 20,000. So maybe if I just had a little more money, I could have bought that trade there and I would have had a nice runner. And I was slightly tilted. I was a little mad seeing, we're already up like 20 points right now on this runner. It would have been pretty good. All we got is the $50. I guess I really can't be mad. A winning trade is a winning trade. But yeah, to see this just go up without me and not being able to get into this trade because of whatever intraday margin requirement mess up they had, it was a little hard this morning to see prices just go away without me. And fast forward a couple minutes later, and we have yet another two-legged trap here. So what we can see, it's hard to see. I have everything zoomed out. I'm so sorry. This is probably not the best experience for you as a viewer. But what we have is another two-legged trap where prices made yet another two-legged pullback. And so what I'm looking for here is when a lot of new traders see this two-legged pullback, they will usually sell right here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to have my buy stop order right above the previous candlestick so that when prices do reverse, all of these traders who are, trapped, they're going to be in pain and they're going to have to cover their position. So what I'm looking for again is basically this two-legged pullback to fail and for prices to continue higher. Hopefully we can catch this one, especially after missing this trade. It kind of sucked. It really sucked to miss this trade. So we're looking for this two-legged pullback to hopefully make the same kind of move, but it actually looks like it's not doing so well for us. If I was to zoom into this chart, you'd actually notice that the two-legged pullback kind of went like this and then actually sold off further on that second leg. And now that I kind of review it again, this isn't really the best place to be trapping traders, right? If I'm trying to trap traders above this bar, but this two-legged pullback has already made such a big move, then a lot of those traders who sold might have already taken their profits. So when prices do reverse and I set my trap and try to trap someone, well, there might not be any traders there to trap at that point because they all already took their profits. And that's basically what you saw there is the two-legged pullback sold off far enough that all of these traders were probably able to get out of their positions. They maybe got like a 2, 3, 4 point scalp, whatever they were targeting. And then when prices reversed and I was looking to trap them, there was no one left to trap. So prices really just ticked up higher and then they just fell off because this is still in some kind of bearish downtrend. There's a little weakness here and it's a little unfortunate. And honestly, I probably took this bad trade because I missed this other trade right here. I saw this one take off and then I was like, oh man, I really want the next one. I don't want to miss this one. And yeah, I kind of took one prematurely. So it's unfortunate. I think we lost $250 off of that. So we're down $200 for the day. We're 1-1. But it's okay. One good thing you have to think about is that, in this environment, we do scale down. So I moved from 4 contracts down. We're actually only trading 1 contract right now. So if this was 4 contracts, I would have lost $1,000 on that trade, but good thing we're trading 1. So we only lost $250. Now it's been about 10 minutes since that failed trade. And what we're seeing here is we're seeing a two-legged pullback. So this is really nice for a buy, looking for prices to at least come up higher or, test this high up here. And one thing you might have noticed is that I usually like to have buy stop orders. So on the actual bar, I like to place my order right above it and be entered the moment prices go in higher. But one thing that you do have to see with this two-legged pullback is that there is a lot of congestion right here. So with that congestion, it's not 100% sure that this is going to be a really good two-legged pullback setup. And so what I want to do is I just wait for this bar to kind of show me what kind of bullish momentum is happening. And as you can see, it's a pretty juicy green bar. So what I did is I just put in a limit order just a little bit higher. I mean, we lost 2 points there, but I get a better confirmation at this point. And with the volatility, we kind of know that prices are going to be moving pretty high. So, giving up 2 points when we know that, with all this volatility, the bars are probably going to be 4 or 5 points. And as you can see, our runner, I didn't even scalp at this point. So because I was only able to trade 1 contract, scalping for 1 point isn't going to be a lot. I instead just took that 1 scalper and turned it into 1 runner. So I'm managing this 1 runner here. I would not recommend doing this if you aren't as experienced in price action trading. But yeah, I turned that 1 scalper into a runner and I think we got 6 or 7 points on it, which is pretty awesome. It brings our P&L for the day back to around 37.50. And I think after commissions, that's probably still negative or basically just 0 break even. But at this point, we're 2-1 for the day. And I actually just called it here. I think it's 7:17. But one thing about this market is these candlesticks are just way too big to be trading. There's a lot of risk, right? If I lose one of these trades on an average candlestick, that's what are these? They're 8 points large, and that's an 8-point loss. And the strategy that we trade here, we really only go for 1 point. We really should be going for 1 point unless we see opportunities like this one where, you kind of want to take the gamble and see if we can just go higher. And then also feeling sad about this trade, it was, I couldn't get it out of my mind. I think it was just frustrating that the NinjaTrader platform actually failed me. And I mean, it's going to happen, right? These are unprecedented events. NinjaTrader, they have to protect themselves at the end of the day when the market is going down 5-7%, and a lot of margin calls are probably being made, and a lot of traders out there are blowing up their accounts today. So I completely understand what went wrong with them. But yeah, I basically called it a day after this. It's just not the best type of market for me to trading, especially when my mind is a little cloudy from what had happened earlier. And that's going to be it for this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned a lot. If you're interested in learning more about this strategy, go ahead and check out our Facebook trading group. There's over 500 members in there now, and it's very active. It's also one of the best ways to communicate with me directly. All right, guys, I'll see you at the next video. Happy trading.